ICU Dome on the Idaho State University campus in Pocatello, Idaho. 46 Simplot games. This day, 3 of 3. Adam Dunphy and Keenan Gray with you for Runner Space's coverage of the 2026 edition of the Simplot games. And Keenan, now we're into the final events of this year's championship. And up next to the track, we will have the girls' 3,200 meter final. This section 3 of 3.
And a race this year that's kind of up in the air. There's a lot of, unfamiliar names, doing some research on some of these girls. Some of them just getting their high school career started, some of them state champions. This is going to be a fun one to watch just to see, who's that next rising star in the sport. The meet record, of course, if anybody remembers from last year's historic effort by Jane Hedegren, who's now, of course, at BYU down in Provo. 9:37.50 is that meet record. One of the fastest times, actually, I think the fastest 3,200 meters ever ran at altitude, at least at the high school level.
We've got Lucy Spies, Sophia Gonzalez, Alyssa Clayton, Ava Clausen, Taya Wren, Holly Tanos, Lexi Longhurst, Isabella Cram, Lila Landy, Tatum Tui, Gracie Starr, Brooklyn Tarr, Leah Larson, and Lydia Cabrera in this third and final section.
So Spice ran the fastest time out of prelims. She ran 10:57.15, which this is one of the more unique meets where you have a 3,200 meter preliminary section. You don't see that, at your high school state championships. You definitely, don't see that at some of the college championships. Some of them may run a 3K preliminary, but yeah, this is something that tests the fitness of these girls and how they bounce back from, a solid effort on Thursday. That's, of course, 48 hours ago. But to run 8 laps again around this track, and it's not a soft track by any means, that does a lot to wear and tear to your body.
And Sophia Gonzalez asserting herself early in this race. She's well out in front early on. That's Wren leading the chase pack right now, although Tanos right there with her. Gonzalez had the second quickest time in the prelim. She ran 11:01.08. It was a new personal best for her. And right now she is maintaining that very healthy lead. Tanos now leading the chase pack. Wren in behind her.
Receiving the medal is for second place, the Kimberly Bulldogs. And your 2026 Simplot Games champions with a time of 1:33.25.
One race already under the belt of Gonzalez. She ran in that SMR earlier in the day, ran the 800 leg. So I had to wait a couple of hours. So, probably got something to eat, just chilled out for, a few of those hours, and then, kind of locked back in, realizing, all right, I got 16 laps I got to do around this oval. I know I said 8 earlier. I'm thinking outdoors. But, yeah, 16 laps around this wooden bank track. That's a lot of pounding on this wooden surface. And in total, she's going to have 20 laps under her belt after this race today.
She's through the opening 1,000 now, about 3:24. And no one really yet making a move to try and reel in Gonzalez. She got out to a significant lead early, and she's just maintained it, if not added to it, as the laps go by.
I mean, there's still a lot of race to go. I mean, you got all these laps still to race. I mean, they haven't even gone through the first mile yet. So, you know, those girls back there are just waiting to, you know, continue to chip away at these laps and, you know, get faster as they go by. So, you know, there's no reason to panic early on, especially when you think about maybe that's about a 40-meter lead from Tanos and Gonzalez from first to second. I mean, Tanos does have a lot of other girls to work with around her, so that might be more of an advantage with Gonzalez all by herself out front.
Gonzalez coming up to the halfway point here. And through that about 5:27.
So it may not seem like it from this vantage point, but that gap has closed a little bit. I think that lead now is down to about 30 meters. It looks like that's Isabel Cram now moving up into second position. But yeah, the lead does not look as big as it was for the first couple of laps, Adam.
Cram ran 11:42.82 in the prelims. At her best, she's an 11:06.61 runner. Gonzalez now through 1,800 meters. And the lead continuing to shrink for Sofia Gonzalez. Coming up to 2,000 meters.
6 laps to go, 43.
And last lap 43 for Gonzalez. Another 43 on that lap for Gonzalez. Now move into second place by Alyssa Clayton.
She is closing in on Gonzalez.
So as we get closer and closer to the end, you got to think that these couple of groups that are starting to move up are Starting to reel in Gonzalez. Still less than 3 minutes to go in this race, and there's still a lot of time to make up ground.
That was a 44-second lap for Gonzalez. Alyssa Clayton continuing to chip away at Gonzalez's lead. Another 43-second lap from Gonzalez, so she's been pretty consistent here. But now she's got someone breathing down her neck, and that someone is Alyssa Clayton.
So what type of response can she show? I mean, now that you have company for the first time in this race, there's a little bit of a surge from Gonzalez. It's how you know, once she counters a move, what else can, the next person behind me can do?
Perhaps sensing that pressure a little quicker on that last lap through in 42 seconds. Gonzalez trying to pull away from Clayton. Just under 300 meters left to go. And they are going to hear the bell.
And you could see that she sensed that pressure and responded in a way that's like, yeah, if you're going to, challenge me here, let's go these last 2 laps. And this is where I'm going to throw my surge in.
That last lap, 39 seconds, 39 high for Gonzalez. So she is responding to that pressure. And she has found another gear here. She's into the final 100 meters. And Sofia Gonzalez got out to the big lead early. It was chipped out, but she responds, and she takes the victory. I apologize. I was waiting to see her go through the tape, but she elected just to stick it out in lane 1. So she does take the win.